Next on the show today, a former ambulance driver is helping to transform the lives of people experiencing hair loss with a tattoo gun. Darren Herbert, who has worked for the East of England Ambulance Service for 8 years, has decided he still wants to help people with something a little bit different. He took an online course, and Darren has now begun doing Scalp Micropigmentation, which is a hair tattoo treatment. Darren joins us on the programme now, along with one of his clients. We'll first of all say hello to Darren. Morning.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm very well, thank you. This is an interesting conversation we're going to have, I'm sure. Why, first of all, Darren, did you want to leave the East of England Ambulance Service?
Well, there's a couple of things, really. My background is windsurfing and water sports, and I think I was speaking to you this time last year because we was doing a music festival, and I had the paddleboarding school down at Felixstowe.
Right.
And also, for the last 8 years, I've also had a windsurfing school in Harwich. And I was kind of juggling the two businesses obviously working on the ambulance, doing long shifts, 10 to 12 hour, 10 to 12 hour days, and just trying to fit too much in my life with two children as well. Right. So I kind of, I felt like I did my bit there, and I felt like I needed to sort of move on to something else, just so I had a bit more time in my life and I could actually enjoy water sports and things like that for myself rather than for teaching it all the time.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, I enjoyed working on the ambulance service, don't get me wrong, but I felt like I did my time, and I didn't want to quit before COVID. I kind of had it in mind to basically get into tattooing, but I didn't want to leave the ambulance service until we got sort of through COVID a bit more. I didn't want to just be working on the ambulance. Yeah, and basically jump ship as soon as things get a bit more tougher, I guess. So,
all right, so let's wind back a little bit then. So, from the ambulance service to a pro surfer into hair treatments, explain.
So, well, basically, when I windsurfing and stuff like that, a good friend of mine took a lot of pictures for me for various media stuff. And, he's always really happy, and so are the other guys that took pictures of various things that I was doing in the pictures, like backflips or forward loops or whatever or the trick was in the photo. And they were obviously more focused on the actual image itself. And I kind of just kept picking up on this receding hairline, that was increasing. It seemed to be increasing, obviously, as I get older, as it does. And I kind of got more and more kind of unhappy with it. So, and I've always been a stickler for wearing my cap. So I kind of basically, in a way, hid my insecurities under my hat.
Would you say you're a vain person, Darren?
Not at all. No, it's just I guess everyone's got their hang-ups, right? And I think if when you're younger, if you're used to having thick, dark hair, and then it starts thinning out, everyone's got things they're unhappy with. And I think if you can just be confident with yourself when you look in the mirror, it doesn't mean about loving yourself in a particular vain way. Just being happy.
And you know what, Darren? I think the thing with hair loss, I think we're all a little bit guilty of this as well. We'll have a bit of a laugh at someone else's expense because if they're going a bit thin on top. My kids say it to me, Dad, I can see you're losing your hair a little bit. I can see through your hair. And they don't realise how offensive, how upsetting that can be for someone, do they?
Yeah, I mean, like I say, everyone's got their hang-ups, and that was kind of mine. Like I say, I was looking into going into tattooing because I do like my artwork, and unfortunately, I had a bit of an injury at work on the ambulance, and severe. I really badly injured my arm and broke my wrist basically, and suffered from carpal tunnel, and that basically. That was a see you later to doing tattoos because it's just that articulating the wrist. There was no way that I could go into that line of work. And, I wanted to move off the ambulance and like I say, enjoy water sports for me again. And I just thought, what should I do? Because I wanted another job that was equally as rewarding as working on the ambulance service. And my friends were like, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? And I just thought, I want something to just appear. And it doesn't sound a bit lazy or anything like that, but I just wanted something I'd never even thought of, stumble across, and somehow it just works and I enjoy it.
Right, it's called...
that thing exactly, you know, it actually happened. So I was looking for treatment for myself, and then I stumbled across it. And I was watching Married at First Sight Australia, and that guy Mike was on there, and I thought, I'm sure he's had that treatment. And I looked into it, and he had the treatment, and then he went into doing the treatment himself. So I thought maybe I could do the same thing. So I looked into it, and basically instead of investing in having the treatment for myself, I thought I'd invest in training so I could do the treatment.
It's called Scalp Micropigmentation.
Can you explain? Not easy to say when you're drunk, that's for sure.
I hope you're not doing it when you're drunk.
Well, no.
Tell us how this treatment works.
So basically, we match. We use pigmentation. There's liquids that we use and a solution that we mix ourselves, and we match it to your hair follicles. So, you know, everyone has different shades and color of hair.
Yeah.
So basically, it gives the appearance of like a shaved, short hair. It's like all visual density. So if you've got thinning of the hair, we can add density to your head, so it looks like you've got more hair follicles where your hair is thinning. It basically just creates a real look. So it's suitable for men and women.
Right.
And it's almost like a follicle simulation, if that makes it.
I've heard of people having eyebrows tattooed on. Is it similar to that?
Yeah, I mean, if you can get if it's micropigmentation, because you can. I have seen some really quite dense work, and that definitely looks more like tattooing, like you would when you shade a tattoo. But then I have seen where it does look like hair follicles, and that would be the same sort of thing.
How long have you been doing this for now?
So I did the training the early part of this year, and I started getting my work out there online on social media, and then I was basically approached by a lady called Kim Long, and she runs a clinic called the East Anglian Clinic, and she had this idea of having all these treatments under one roof. So she basically does hair systems for balding and chemo patients, and she has a team of hairdressers there, and she liked the quality of my work, and she wanted me there. So if someone come in and her treatment, you know, wasn't for them, then there was someone else in the building that could do something else. There was always, you know,
an alternative.
There's alternative route to go down, and I think having the options is good, because maybe micropigmentation isn't for everyone, and they might go to her and she does a hair system, or vice versa.
And how many people have you used this treatment on then so far, Darren?
There's quite a few. A lot of people, understandably, don't want to have their pictures taken and have it put on social media, because obviously this is a big deal for them. But there are quite a few people that I've done, and they're happy to have it all displayed on social media.
Well, let's speak to one of your clients now. Let's speak to Leslie. Morning, Leslie.
Good morning, Wayne. Good morning, Darren.
Hi there.
Hi.
Nice to have you on, Leslie. First of all, I've got to ask the question, why did you look into doing this? Why did you need this treatment, Leslie?
Well, I'd said to my partner some time ago that I'd seen it and read about it in magazines. And I said to him, I think I'd like to have that done myself. And then it went some time before anything was said or done. And he all of a sudden said, Les, is this what you're talking about? And he showed me on his phone. I said, yes, that's it. That's what I'd like done. And so we contacted Darren, and he came round and had a chat, and, you know, we spoke about it. And then there was no stopping me. I said, yeah, okay, we'll go for it. And I was really happy with his work. It's not painful. Sometimes it's a little bit uncomfortable, but you mentioned about eyebrows, and I have had my eyebrows done in the past, and that was painful.
That's it.
But this wasn't as painful.
And Leslie, could you tell us why you're suffering hair loss? Is it a medical condition or?
Well, it is. I can't even pronounce the word, let alone spell it. It's something that women get as they're getting older. I'm sure you've seen a lot of women with thinning of the hair.
Is it like alopecia?
Well, alopecia is like in big spots, big areas, whereas
Right.
this is what happens is the hair follicle, it's my immune system attacking the hair follicles, seeing them as, you know, sort of intrusive, and so
Yeah.
they're getting rid of them. So as it started, it's over the years, it's gradually got worse and worse, and I went down the trying to cover it route, then wearing scarf route, and then by the hospital saying you'd be best to get a wig.
So
And I'm not
it
a
was
wig
clearly
person.
really, really bothering you then. It was making you feel really anxious and insecure.
Yeah, I was all right with scarves, but obviously in the summer you can get really hot.
Yeah.
And so it's gradually adjusting to people seeing you with no hair. A lot of children sort of look, and say, Mummy, she's got no hair. Whereas people are a lot more understanding. But, now I've had this done, I just feel so much more comfortable.
Well, the problem of hair loss is always going to be more difficult for women, isn't it, than it is for men. I'm sure it's traumatic for men too, but I think for women, as you say, people will possibly give a second look. And if this makes you feel more secure and makes you feel happy, that's a good thing. Do you look in the mirror now and think, yeah, I look okay?
Oh, I look in the mirror and think that, yeah, I'm gorgeous.
I bet you were anyway, Leslie.
Well, I just have to say one thing. As my hair's been disappearing, I've gone shorter and shorter. And Darren said to me, you have to really grade it off, you know, to get a good effect. And do you know what? That's the best thing anyone's ever said to me, because once I graded it right down, I thought, yeah, that looks really good, actually.
What have your family and friends said?
Oh, they love it. They said, yeah, you look a lot more happier, you look more confident, and, you know, no one said anything bad about it. My grandchildren said, Nanny, we love you as you are. You don't have to worry. So that's the main thing, really.
And it didn't cost an arm and a leg?
Well, let's just say I did have to barter and get pensioners' rate.
So the thing is, there's lots of other options out there, but some of them really expensive. I think one of the prime examples is Wayne Rooney, who was he was bald, had a full hair transplant. Someone I know, George Sampson, who was a dancer from Britain's Got Talent, he had a hair implant. And he's got a full head of hair now, but that must cost a fortune. This is another option, and it's done what it has to do for you. I can tell you sound happy, Leslie.
See, what you're misunderstanding is I'm actually losing it. If I had hair, I mean, my nephew, he's gone down that route and had hair transplant.
Yeah.
Whereas
that was an option for you.
Because I'm actually losing my hair.
Right.
So there's not a lot of hair to transplant. So if I had more hair, but then my immune system can attack that as well. So it'd be money spent and I'd lose it. Whereas this option, it's brilliant. It's, it's there sort of thing.
Leslie, it's been a pleasure speaking to you. I'm glad I'm glad it's changed your life and brought your confidence back.
Yeah. I just hope others, if they feel a bit, down, look into it and find out more about it.
Leslie, thank you. Darren, clearly this treatment helps with people's mental health. We heard there from Leslie about how she's got her confidence back. And that's a great thing, isn't it? Does this fade?
Yeah.
Do you have to have this treatment done again? Does it last forever?
I mean, it does fade, which is a good thing in a way, because obviously if I was using the likes of tattooing and then we matched it to your current hair colour or follicle at an older age, so if you was having this treatment in your 50s, your hair's going to start turning grey and going lighter. So it's a good thing that it fades, because it should fade in with your hair as it goes lighter. The consistent thing that we have is you get people messaging you about this treatment, and it's understandable, because the way that they message you and then it goes quiet, and then they message you another question, and then a few weeks later it goes quiet. it's a big deal to them. So they're weighing up their options and they're trying to figure out if it's the right treatment. But the consistent thing that is said is when they have the treatment that they just wish they'd done it sooner.
Right. It's a treatment that's not right for everybody, but as we heard there from Leslie, it was Leslie's choice, and it was the right choice for her. And can I just say as well, Darren, before you go, I would imagine working for the East of England Ambulance Service has given you skills that you can use with patients. You can put them at rest, you can put them at ease when doing treatments.
Yeah, I think you just, I mean, it depends if you're a natural people person in any sort of walks of life, isn't it? If you can put anyone at ease. But I do think reassuring people is important in all aspects.
Where can we find out more information about scalp micropigmentation?
Well, website is Octoink SMP. So Octo as in octopus. So octoinksmp.co.uk, and then octoink_SMP, which is on Insta. And you'll find Octoink Scalp Micropigmentation on Facebook. So the long word that you can't say when you're drunk. So
we'll put that to the test sometime, mate, when we have a drink.
No worries.
Darren, mate, it's been great chatting to you. Really interesting. Thank you.
Okay, take care.
That's Darren Herbert there from Octoink SMP. Check it out if you'd like more information. Octoink, stick it in your search bar. Thank you.